Okay.
Hi, I'm Nathan Escobedo. I'm a student at the Santa Barbara City College, and I'm a member of the Garden Scholars Club there. Been there for quite some time now, but and I'm excited to meet Bill. Yeah.
Great. And what do you do? What are you studying at City College, or what did you want to study?
It's been kind of all over the place for the past few years, but now I've landed on ecology, so that's what I'm really interested in. Yeah.
Great. Great. Okay. And Bill, if you could just tell us your name and age, and then we'll start.
I'm William Gibson, William Arthur Gibson Jr. I don't normally announce my name completely, but it just so happens I feel like it.
How old are you?
I'm named after my father, and it's an honor. And I'm 40. I'm sorry. I'm 74, and I've been here in Garden Court approximately close to a month and a half to 2 months. I'm not certain. I've arrived here in Santa Barbara, I think it was April the 7th of last year, so it was 2012.
Oh, so you're new to Santa Barbara also?
Yes, yeah. I'm new here. I've experienced so many episodes in my life since my departure from Vietnam in 1967 November.
That's when you left Vietnam?
That's when I did my 4 years with the U.S. Navy.
Oh.
And my last year was in Vietnam. And why I mention Vietnam, Nathan, and Diane, is because they say nothing good comes out of war. I would have been very supportive of that. But because of what I experienced, it's not true. One good thing that has happened is because of my serving this country, this great nation, I have experienced the honor of living here in Garden Court. There's no way that I would be here had not been rewarded by this country for serving it. So that's good within itself. Yet my experience in Vietnam, the last 4 months over there, whether it be June or July of 1967, enabled me to experience a death situation. And it was my departure from this life. And the reason I'm sharing it with you, I think it's interesting for you to know it and for every young person to know it, that I learned that there's a limit to fear as far as death is concerned. Once I realized that there was no way of escape, then I could accept it. And the funny part about it was that at 29 years old, 28 at that time, my only concern was that what was my mother going to do with the $10,000 that she was going to receive? Okay, and then all of a sudden I got an attitude because I have a younger brother and I have a younger sister and I have an older sister. And I said, here I am doing this and doing that. They never did nothing for me. And here, you know, I'm going to lose my life and they're going to be rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting an attitude, and so then I said, oh, wow, it's so great that my mother sent me to church at a young age, and, you know, I sung in the choir, and I was baptized at the age of 12. And I was comforted by why that? And what was so unique and amazing was there was a voice spoke to me and says, I'm no more ready to experience death than the worst sinner that I could imagine. Whoa. Now, that was truth. All of a sudden, because I heard it, and truth is something you don't argue with. You don't even debate it. You know. And it was just like I accepted death, I accepted that there a voice telling me. And all I could say was, well, what can I do about this? And I escaped a ferocious storm. I escaped death that day, and that was a lesson for me to learn. Number one, there is a limit to fear as far as death is concerned. I also learned there is not a limit to love. There's no ceiling to how much you can love. There's no there's some things there's no ceiling to what you can do. I've learned that. And so that was a good thing for me because I was able to come to feel that I discovered truth in the Lord because experiencing another ferocious storm, late at night in the wee hours of the morning, we had a rendezvous with an aircraft carrier because the storm was the waves, and it was such a ferocious storm that the closer you would get to shore, the worse the storm would be.
Oh, okay.
The further you would go out at sea, the more calm the waters would be. So we rendezvoused on an aircraft carrier. There was I was on swift boats. It was the fastest boat out at sea, and we were patrolling the seas for sampans, ships, or whatever, trying to infiltrate ammunition, whatever, to North Vietnam. And I rendezvoused the swift boat to an aircraft carrier, ran up that ladder, I got off that boat. And I ran to the chapel. Where's the chapel? I had never read a Bible in my life. I ran up to the chapel and looked for a Bible. There was a little red New Testament with Psalms, Proverbs, and the New Testament. I grabbed that, and for my entire stay in Vietnam, which was 3 to 4 more months, they couldn't depart that from me because I had that M16 in one hand and I had my Bible in my other hand. And I read that without ceasing. And by the time I returned from Vietnam back home, I was a totally different person. To this day, I'm a totally different person. My father, family couldn't even accept the change, and they blamed it on my PT, post-traumatic stress disorders, and forth. And I couldn't share. And so most of my life has been difficult with this, disorder. I've been married twice. My first wife for 12 years, 4 years separation before she divorced me. I just received word from my wife a few days ago. She's divorcing me. Okay, I take full responsibility because of my, PTSD issues. I'm a very difficult person to understand anyway.
To open up or something.
Oh, I don't mind opening up. At the same time, I'm set in my ways, basically. When you live by faith and not by, humanistic knowledge and understanding.
You have a strict code of ethics.
Yeah, I had to live. My life is so. I've learned to accept responsibility for every pothole that I trip into and stumble and afflictions. And so here I am now. I'm blessed to have 2 sons by my second wife. They're great. They're just awesome.
How old are they now?
20 and 25. And
Wow.
I'm 74. My last son was Justice. We named him Justice.
Justice.
And he's just turned 21 yesterday. And I was 53. 53 years old. So here I am. I accepted I can accept, if you can accept death without fear, I've learned that you can accept anything. I've accepted the loss of my first wife, the loss of my second wife.
Mm-hmm.
And it's painful, but it's something that you can use to better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I know that it's your behavior and how you accept things in life will, even the negative things, the things that you least would want to happen to you, if you can accept it and actually feel that something good is going to come out of this. Because my intimacy and my love for the Lord, lets me know I have a deliverer, I have someone at my defense, and I have someone who can direct my steps from every pothole, every trial that I'm going through. I know there's a reason for it. So if you have any question, Nathan, because when I talk, it's in me to just say things that I know it needs to be said, needs to be heard. But I'm going to put it on hold. You may have a couple questions, either you or Diane, that you might want to ask.
I just like how when you went through all of that and you notice, you more notice the positivity from from not being scared, I guess, of things after, anymore.
Yeah.
It's more positive. What I understood of it was if you go through something harsh or whatever, you develop kind of a callus, and I don't know, a lot of people would say that it would be a negative kind of thing to develop calluses like that. But I like how you see kind of the good, or I haven't really talked to a lot of people about it or anything, but I don't know, it's just how I see it sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I've learned, just by my intimacy with my belief network in the Lord, that I've been taught there's good in everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care how they try to hide it. I've been taught how to bring it out of them, because I know there's some good in it. And I know people, because I was that way. I would hide what little good I had in me because I didn't want nobody to smear it. Because it was too precious to me. And I'd rather be what they wanted me to be rather than them make dirt out of what only thing that I felt that was of any value. And so knowing that there's good in it, I'm always looking for good in people. And I will pull it out of them, because this much I do know, no matter how much you hide it, you want to open that door and let it out.
Yeah.
And it takes somebody that can bring it out, and when they bring it out of that person feels relief. And somebody I can really share something about myself that is not going to, cause me to doubt it. And so that's an issue right there that I encourage you to, to give it a try. If you're not, don't fear people.
Yeah.
Just know that it's a dog that can bark with no bite. You know how they are. That's how most people are.
Oh yeah, I understand. That's a good analogy for you.
Yeah.
But I have a question
Sure.
for you. Where were you from originally?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm a Steeler fan. I'm a Pilot fan. Yeah, right. And I was lived around 3 rivers: the Allegheny, the Monongahela, and the Ohio River. And I was just reading in Psalms, there are Psalms 1 through 3, you know, and it spoke about, and he shall be planted by the rivers of water, and shall bear fruit in his season, and his leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he do shall prosper. And this is where I feel I'm at right now, Nathan and Diane, is that I've been planted by the rivers of water, and this is my season for prosperity. And at my age, even, you know, I see it at 74, I consider this is the leaf. My hands is a part of the leaf of the root of what I am. Mm-hmm. It hasn't, nothing has decayed, it hasn't withered, nothing is withered. 74 years old.
Yeah.
You know, nothing is withered. So this is what happens when you get in touch with reality. And reality isn't something that you actually learn in a classroom environment.
Yeah.
You see, it's important because it can bring success your way.
Yeah. Well, what do you like remember about like Pittsburgh and stuff that kind of brings?
I remember about Pittsburgh as far as it being a, you know, a town of steel mills, and I grew up with the smog and with the type of weather that you don't have here in Santa Barbara. I could never live back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I lived in Chicago for 5 years right after I graduated, because my father was up there, my older sister was up there. 5 years up there in the South Side, and a young fella, ignorant, innocent but ignorant of how to deal with, you know,
the world,
the life that really is to swallow you up if you don't know how to walk right. And not knowing how to walk right, I had to crawl back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with my mother, and I couldn't take that, so that's how I was able to get it. They finally found me after 3 years, 4 years being in Chicago. They couldn't find me, but when I went back home, they caught me and drafted me for 3 years in the Army. And to go in there, I was supposed to go in the Army April the 2nd, 1963. I joined the Navy March the 30th, 1963, without even letting the Army know about it. And that's how I entered into the military. And it was, to this day, the only reason I have means to be proud of living in the USA of America is because I was willing to die for this country. I know of on various occasions I was willing to die for this country. So I'm proud to live here, even though I feel like a sojourner here.
A what?
A sojourner, that I really, you know, I'm foreign, I'm not accepted. Most of people of my race, you know, I can see it all over the United States that if the best we are sojourners here, because we're not going to obtain equal rights. We're not going to ever be able, we're too far behind to be able to have an equal share of the commonwealth and whatever else it has to offer. And as a result, you see my race of people like the scourge of the earth, okay? And I can accept it as long as I know my place here. And I'm working with it, and I'm making the best out of the situation.
Do you feel that's true in Santa Barbara too?
Yes.
You find prejudice here too?
But you can't help it. You can't help but
Where do
find
you
it
see it?
everywhere. You see it in all over the place. I mean, like where I'm working now at this restaurant, where I'm called, I love cooking. I'm a chef. I love, my
Oh.
family knows I can bake. I make pizza from scratch. I can do it all. But what they had me with a broom, with a mop, prep, and doing everything else, and they got everybody cooking and everything with the cashier, going out there cleaning the tables, but they have me hidden. It's always been that way. The last hired and the first fired. It's always been. I look around me here in Santa Barbara, there's nothing about my race of people that offers any kind of contribution where people can look up and say, wow, that's great what they did. You see, not just Santa Barbara, Portland, Oregon, you see.
You live there as well?
Pardon?
Did you live there as well?
Yeah, for 10 years. That's where I came from. Here.
Oh, yeah,
Santa
okay.
Barbara. But it's just that way. And I know it's that way. And so,
What would happen if you went to your manager and said, you know, when there's an opening, I'd really like to try and start to help out in the kitchen?
they would give me a try. They would give me a try. But I have to take the initiative to do that, okay? Okay, we'll let you be an exception to the rule because you have earned it. Because I work, I have the gift to work without ceasing. No one has to tell me what to do because I can find something.
See it and then,
Right. And they treat me wonderfully. All of them treat me wonderfully. But I know my place and they appreciate it that I know my place. And so what I'm doing, I'm not working so much for them as I am working as unto the Lord. Okay? And I can go an extra mile that way.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you tell me you want me to do, I'm going to find a way to do a little bit more and do a little bit better than what you expect. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, would you ever consider going to them and asking them?
Yes, I would do that. At the same time, I'm limiting myself as much as possible because I can't see myself being there much longer. I'm 74 years old. I come up here, I was blessed with an RV, $700. 4 days being here, I received an RV, and I've been
Nice.
I still have it here. I put all my little, I retired at the age of being 63 or something. I retired, but then I went back to work after my sons graduated.
Yeah. What do you like cooking, like mostly? Like, what's your favorite kind of like just like
Fried
everything?
chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, fried chicken. I must admit it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love fried chicken. I just love cooking. Period. But chicken, everybody, you know, when they get to the chicken, they just. I just bought a rotisserie, and I got it up in the house of prayer where my son is, and boy, the sausages that they make down there on the grill don't even touch what the rotisserie could do on that there. But
yeah, can you make fried chicken at your work? Or
I could do it. Yes, I could do it. I've done it upstairs, not downstairs in a restaurant, but upstairs where they have a house of prayer, and they have a kitchen up here, and I will cook for the crew up here. And
nice.
Like that there.
It's good. I'm sure they like it. Yeah, I haven't had fried chicken in a while, but
Pardon me?
So I haven't had fried chicken in a while.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
If the opportunity presents itself, I'll fry you up. So. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Like, where are your kids now? Are they like back east?
My oldest son is in Kansas. He attends Bethany College up there, and I talked to him yesterday. He should graduate in the fall.
Cool.
He arrived there on a baseball scholarship.
Oh.
And so that's how he's going to school. My younger son is right here, you know, on the state in Delaware at the House of Prayer. It's a great ministry that most of the young people that he went to school with in Westmont is attending that fellowship up there now.
Oh, he went to Westmont?
He went there for 1 year. And see, after 1 year, my wife, she teaches at Portland State University. And she wanted him to come to Portland where he had a home and everything. She wanted him to come home to go there. No. He said, I'm going to go back up in that ministry up there, because he got affiliated with the ministry up there. So I've been up at Westmont a couple of times, because on Mondays they go up there, and so students from Westmont comes there. So I'm just so close to so many young people, and here I'm living in a senior citizen complex, and most of the people, are, they show their age, and I'm not one of them. So far, so good.
You play baseball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I could still, from the outfield, throw a person out trying to run home from third base if he's trying to tag from third base and get there.
Oh.
So.
Cool, yeah.
And my son, he's just awesome. He's just awesome. I'm hoping that he will eventually play Major League Baseball.
Your oldest son?
Yeah, but because of who he is and what he's about, again, he went to Texas and went to Scottsdale University. He went to Idaho. He went to college out there.
Sweet.
And he has the whole package, but again, because of, the nationality bag, he's always was denied the opportunity, if he didn't respond as the way they favored him to do, he was penalized for it. So he's had some issues academically, and so I said that to say in the fall he's graduating, he's coming back here, he's coming here to Santa Barbara, and they have a great minor league team here.
Oh, really?
I'm hoping to meet some of the coaches and encourage him to see his package, because he is physically and everything, he's short, but he is just got the whole package.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love sports too. Like I play soccer all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but not baseball. But